Hi everybody, welcome to Hands-On Games. In this episode, we're looking at second season football. I've already done a couple of second season football videos this past week on the components in the new 2015 version. And after one of those videos, Ron Emsch asked me to play a few series and just give some examples of how I play the game. Sports simulation games are unique in that there's many different ways they can be played, many different homebrewed rules, many different charts, different score sheets, etc. For example, I'm using my solitaire offense and defensive coordinator charts, different than what comes out of the box. I'm also using a custom score sheet, etc. I'm also going to be using the additional instant results cards that come in the new version. Some people might not be using those, so folks like Ron wanted to see what one person's gameplay looks like. I'm happy to oblige, so that's what this episode will be about. So first of all, setup. Let's take a look at what it takes to get set up for a game's second season. You can see I've already got everything laid out. I've got my game book, I've got my score sheet. It's already filled out. You'll notice that I am keeping track of the tendencies for the team. So the Chargers are at a -4, the Eagles are at a -1. That information comes off the team sheets themselves. I've got my little marker here to remind myself when a penalty's called. I've got the dice. Now, second season comes with these two dice. That's to get the results out of the playbook. But I'm rolling a lot more with each play. I'm rolling the red and the blue to get the play call, and I'm rolling the D20 for the finder charts to see who the key player is on any given down. I've also got my quick result charts here, so I'll be using those as well. And let's see, so here's my offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator charts. I'll be using the call plays for both teams. And of course, I've got my team sheets, both for Philadelphia and San Diego, offense and defense. I put them in these standees. It just makes them easier to use. Let's see, for example, another nice use of these is I can put notes on top with just pieces of Post-it notes. So for example, in this game, Perry Harrington will be rated as a AA outside rusher for the first two rushes of the game, after which that rating goes away. He goes back to his default rating. I'll just take that off, and it just makes it easier to keep track of that. So that's pretty much it. This is all you need to get going with the game's second season. You notice I don't have a football field. Reason being, I just go ahead and keep track of field position on the play log. I'll tick off for time as it elapses. And that's pretty much it for setup. So I'll play a couple series and then probably wrap things up, but at least it should give folks an idea of how the game's played. So that said, let's get started. In this particular game, I've already determined that the Chargers are going to kick off to the Eagles. And I guess I didn't mention who's playing. It's the 1980 Eagles against the 1980 Chargers. I am a Chargers fan, even though I was living in Philadelphia at the time, and I was rooting for the Eagles in this particular Super Bowl. I am a Chargers fan, even was back when I was living in Philadelphia. So this is a what-if game. You know, what if the Chargers had beaten the Raiders in the AFC playoffs and made it to the Super Bowl to face the Eagles? So that's what we're playing today. And that said, let's show you how the game plays. So you're going to grab the chart for kickoffs. I'm going to roll 3 dice to get this started. It's going to be the play result and the finder. We're going to see who's returning the ball for the Eagles, as well as what the result of the kick is. Bernushka's kickoff rating is a C. So I know you can't read this, but I'll just tell you what's going on. It means there's no change to the kickoff table here. So whatever distance he kicks it off is what it's going to be. So the result is a 62. And the return man is going to be Campfield for the Eagles. So 62 is a 49-yard kick. Not that great. 10, 20, 30, 40, 9. The kick goes to the 16-yard line. And we're going to roll for the return. And again, it's 2 dice to roll for the return. Again, from the 16, a 63. Oh, we're going to the long return chart. which is right here. So we're going to roll one more time. Again, returning from the 16, I roll a 1-4. It's 22 or 10, but it's because of the way this chart is doing double duty. So for kickoffs, we're going to use the first reading. So it's a 22-yard return from the 16, puts the ball at the 38. So good field position for the Eagles. Tick off 15 seconds. First and 10. Sorry. It's hard to do a video and write at the same time sometimes. So Philadelphia has possession. First down, 10 to go on their own 38. I believe that's what I said, hopefully. And yeah, so that's it. So I checked off 15, crossed off the 15. So now we're at 14:45 in the first quarter. Philadelphia has first and 10 on their own 38. The way I use the score sheet, so line of scrimmage, if I do a down arrow and a number, that means the team with the ball is in their own end of the field. If I do an up arrow before the number, it means they've crossed the 50 and now are in opponent's territory. So I am going to now roll for the first play of the game. And actually, let's jump right into this instant results deck. So the first thing you have to know before you use this deck is what's the play call. In this case, I am playing the offensive and defensive coordinators for both sides. So I'm going to roll these dice. And it's a 33. If you're familiar with my particular solitaire charts, you know that when you roll doubles, you're going to re-roll. You're going to keep the defensive call, which in this case is a safe defense, but you're going to re-roll for the offense. I won't explain this every time. The first time I will, though. So the play call was an outside run. We're going to re-roll on the audible chart, and the result is actually a long pass. So Jaworski has seen something, and he's going to go ahead and throw a bomb. And I'm just flipping charts because I hadn't done that yet after the kickoff. So now we've got Philadelphia on offense, San Diego on defense. And, all right, so we know it's a long pass, but remember, the fact that it's a long pass doesn't matter. We were only doing this to determine run or pass. So the play call changed from a run to a pass based on the audible call. We're going to flip the card. And the quick result here is pass. Medium pass to EB versus safe defense. Okay, so we didn't get an instant result. We're still going to have to consult the book. So we find medium pass versus safe. Medium pass versus safe. We're going to roll the dice and the die to figure out who, in fact, is the pass going to. It's going to Smith. It's actually going to Charlie Smith. The result is a 1-2. Jaworski is a C completion, so we're going to go to the C, 1-2. Q minus a single die yards out of bounds. So it's going to be a completion, Q minus 5. His Q rating is 12, so that ends up being a 7-yard gain. So it's a pass to Smith for 7 yards. And that's going to take 2 ticks off of the game clock, and it's going to bring up second down and 3 on the 45. So, I mean, there you've seen one play. Now, it started with the instant result deck, which didn't provide an instant result, but Keith explains in the rules it's not always going to do that. Sometimes you will have to refer to the book. We'll go ahead and use the book a second time for second down. One thing I haven't explained, why do I have a decider die out? You might be asking yourself that. Well, there's certain times where either the game book or my solitaire chart will give a choice to the player, either or. You can do either this or that. For example, a medium pass or a long pass. I use the decider die when those decisions need to be made. So second down and 3. The play call is a 5-2, which on second and 3 is going to be a short pass against a safe defense. So we go ahead and go to short pass versus safe defense right here, and we look at who the key player is. It's number 2. That's going to be a short pass. Jaworski is targeting Smith again, and the play result is 35. You look at 35, or number 35, and it's a check against GB. It's a check against a right guard who happens to be Woody Peoples, and it's asking to see a 2 pass. He is not a 2 pass. He's only rated a 1 pass, which is an average rating. So thrown too low, incomplete. There you go. So there's the result. Pass, incomplete. It's going to take off 1 tick off the clock, and it's now third down and 3, Eagles on their own 45. You do not use the instant result check deck on third down, so we go right back to our play call and result roll. The play call is an offensive 1, defensive 6, which on 3rd and 3 is going to be a running play against a blitz. This may just work. And they're running with Campfield. So inside against a blitz. Here we go with Campfield. It's a 61. It's a check on the outside linebacker. Is he a run 2? He is not. Woodrow Lowe is not. He's only a run 1. So now it's asking, is the fullback a 0 run? And Leroy Harris is not. He is a 1. So we're going to the XR column, which is right here. So we're going to re-roll on the XR column, the black and the white. 56. This check-in is A, the cornerback. Is he a run 2? No, Mike Williams is not a run 2. He is a run 0, actually. So Campfield breaks tackles, spins ahead, and gains 15 yards. So great third down call. Campfield for 15. First down and 10 at the Chargers' 40-yard line. Drive continues. 1st and 10. Let's go to the instant results deck this time. Let's roll the dice, get the play call. Just need to know if it's a run or a pass. It's a 6. That means it's a pass. All right, and it's a pass to Carmichael. Let's see what the deck says. Medium pass. Again, we're not getting an instant result. We're getting sent to the chart book. So medium pass to EC, who is Keith Kreffel, versus a run defense. So there you go. So we're changing it up a bit here. So medium pass versus a run defense. Chargers think and run. Probably not the best thing they could do. So again, it's to Kreffel. So let's see what the result is. 65, another high roll. It's a check on F, which is the middle linebacker. Is he rated as a 2 pass? He is not. So it's asking, is our running back, Will Montgomery, rated as a 2 pass? He's not. So we're going to, the result is now a triangle. So triangle says the quarterback dumps off to alternate receiver for 2 die worth of yards. So who is that alternate receiver going to be? It's going to be Spagnola. So Jaworski dumps off to Spagnola for 6 yards. Good play for the Eagles. That's going to bring up 2nd and 4 on the Chargers' 34-yard line with 13 minutes left to go in the first quarter. All right, play call, 6-4 on 1st down. It's going to need a decide or die check. It's a long pass against a safe defense. So here we go. Jaworski's testing the Chargers secondary. He's going to throw it long to Carmichael. The result is a 41. Checking the quarterback. Is he a 0 pass? No, he is not. He is a 2 pass. We're going to the XL column. It's going to be out of bounds. It's also got a video replay icon. We're not going to be using that in 1980. And the fact that it goes out of bounds doesn't matter for timing because it's still early in the first quarter and the clock's not going to stop for an out of bounds result anyway. So we're going to the XL column for Carmichael. 51. Is the outside linebacker a 2 pass? We already checked that before. Woodrow Lowe is not. So there's a mismatch in coverage and Carmichael catches it for 30 yards. Pushed out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Wow. Well, this could be a high-scoring game. All right, so 30 yards for Carmichael. And the Eagles now have 1st and 10 on the Chargers' 4-yard line. Again, we're not going to be using this deck within the 20 of either team, so ignore that for now. We're just going to have to keep rolling the dice. So what's the call? We came up with a 55. So let's check the audible on that. It's another 5. So the call is a 55. Now, normally that would be a short pass against a pass, and actually, you know what? We're within the 10 short pass works there, so that's going to be the call. It's going to be a short pass against a pass defense. So Chargers made the right call for a change. And it's a short pass to Carmichael again. He's looking to hook up with Carmichael on a 62. The check is against the strong safety, Pete Shaw. Is he a 0 pass? Pete Shaw is not. He's a 1 pass. So thrown into coverage, go to wide chart. Oh, we could have an interception, possible interception. Ron Jaworski's Y rating is a 3. That's pretty good. It's going to be tough to pick him off, but let's see. 24. Is the quarterback's grade 3 or more? Why, yes, it is. It's a screen pass, a short pass. It goes 11 yards, and it's intercepted by B or G. Decider die says G. So it went 11 yards. That's into the end zone, intercepted by Ray Preston. And that's it. Drive ended. Intercepted by Preston. It's going to take 15 seconds off the clock. And that's it. Eagles' drive is over. So there's an example of one drive. Let's give you one more so you can continue getting a feel for the game. But hopefully you see how the game runs just from that perspective, from that drive. So San Diego's now taking over 1st and 10 on their own 20. And you know what? I could check to see if there's a return. There was nothing about that result that said it wasn't returned. And normally you would check, but the way I'm playing it, 7 yards deep in the end zone, I'm making the call that the defender took a knee, because it bothers me to no end sometimes when they run those out and get tackled before the 20. So again, that's a gameplay choice. That's player's choice there. You could roll in the interception return chart if you wanted to. All right, so let's flip it here. We've got San Diego now on offense. 1st and 10 on the 20. Let's go ahead and go to the deck for the first play. We'll go ahead and just see. We're talking run or pass. It's a 4. We are talking a pass, and to Joyner, if the card allows us. Incomplete, just off receiver's fingertips. So there you go. There's the first play of the drive. It's going to be 2nd and 10 on their own 20. The pass was incomplete. All right, 2nd and 10, their own 20, 12 minutes to go in the game. Next play call and results. 2nd and 10, 6-2. That's going to be a medium or long. A long pass against a safe defense. There you go, long against safe. Fouts is targeting Winslow. 26 is CE or TA. That's the center or the left tackle. Is either of them a 0 pass? Neither of them are. That's good news for Fouts. Quarterback scrambles. Okay, he would have been sacked if any of those were 0, so that's good. But quarterback scrambles, that doesn't make me feel good, because his outside run rating is an F. But go to page 14 and re-roll. So we do what the book says. We go to outside run versus a safe defense. His outside run rating is an F, and you re-roll. You get a 61. 61, it's going to check against A, which is the cornerback, Herm Edwards. Is Herm Edwards a run 2? He is not. We're going to the XR column. Well, look at this. Fouts may actually gain some yards. 36. We're checking F. Now we're checking Frank LeMaster, linebacker. Does he have a run 2 rating? No, he does not. So Fouts barges through a huge hole for 9 yards. That's pretty cool. So under pressure, runs for 9 yards. It's probably the longest run we will see from Fouts this game. 3rd and 1. Chargers own 29-yard line. What are they going to do on 3rd and 1? They are doing a screen pass against a safe defense to Winslow. Screen pass, safe defense to Winslow, 52. G. Inside linebacker, Bill Berge. Is he a 2 pass? He is not. Winslow dodges tacklers after catch, 11-yard gain. Complete to Winslow for 11, and the Chargers get themselves their first down. out to the 40-yard line. All right, 1st and 10 on the 40. What's the next play call going to be? Is it going to be a run or a pass? Let's use the instant result deck again. It's going to be a run. And Muncie is the initial runner here. Slammed down after a 2-yard gain. All right, so 2 yards for Muncie. Now to the 42. 2nd down and 8. Let's see what the coordinators dial up. It's a re-roll for the offense. It's an audible. He sees, Fouts sees the safe defense, decides to go with a screen pass. All right, it's a screen to Winslow. The play call is a 26. So screen against safe, we're already there. 26, we're checking the right guard and the quarterback. Are either of them rated at a 2 pass? Yes, Fouts is. We say yes, so it's a quick completion for 1 die roll yards. So Winslow, screen for 2 yards, not quite enough. All right. 10 minutes left in the game. Sorry, left in the first quarter. 3rd and 6 on the 44. What's the call going to be on 3rd and 6? It's going to be a short pass against a blitz. So short pass. Here comes the blitz. The pass is to Thomas. The die roll is 36. We're checking Ed White. Is Ed White a 2 pass? He is not. Quarterback feels the heat from the blitz. Incomplete. Too bad. That's going to end the drive. Eagles defense holds. Only allows the Chargers 1 first down. So it's 4th and 6 on the 44. And here comes the punting unit out on the field. So we're going to roll for the punt result as well as who the punt returner is going to be. So the return is going to be fielded by Henry. I'm sorry, 13. Yep, Henry. And the punt is a 23. So we look at the punt chart. And we are not yet past our 45, so we cannot try a coughing corner punt. It's going to be a routine punt, 23. Poor snap. Okay, kick. +1 to average, and it's returnable. Okay, so we take our punter's average. Rick Partridge, his average is 39, so it's a 40-yard punt from the 44. 10, 20, 30, 40. 1. It's down to the 15-yard line. So Henry, returning from the 15. We're going to roll for the return. It is a 16 on punt return, -7 from his return, and a flag. So from the 16, Henry's punt return is normally an 8. He gets 1 yard and a flag on the play. So he returns it to 17, returned at the 17-yard line. Now let's check the flag. So to check the flag, flip the board over, and you're going to look at the return plays after you roll the dice and see what the flag was for. 63. 9 tells you return team 10 yards from the end of return, blocking foul. So unfortunately, penalty on the Eagles, 10 yards from the end of the return, which was the 17. So that's going to be half the distance to the goal line. So they're going to get the ball on their, I always go ahead and round up. So we're going to give it to them on their 9-yard line. So Philadelphia, 1st and 10 on their own 9. And there's going to be 9:30 left to go in the first quarter. So there you go. I'm sorry we didn't get more scoring, but there's 2 drives with second season football, the 2015 version with Gamebook 4.0. You got to see a few instant results from these cards. Some of them took us right to the book, so they weren't quite so instant. We had a couple punts. We had 1 punt. We had an interception. You got to see a penalty be resolved. You got to see how second season for new people who maybe haven't played this game, got to see how results are derived. It's really interactive. You get to, get familiar with the players, which is probably my favorite part. And it plays pretty quick. Now, normally I'm not doing all this talking and hand waving. you get into more of a flow. So, but I think you can probably figure that out. So if you have any questions, or if I made any mistakes, because I may have missed every now and then I'll miss a tick on the game clock. Sometimes I can get a reading wrong. It happens to everybody. I don't think anybody's ever expecting themselves to play a game 100% perfect, especially when they're recording it. So if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts for me, please leave them in the comments. I welcome any ideas for other games you'd like to see my hands on and giving information about. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.